Ryan once said,
Trading is like going to war in a sense, right? So you don't go to war without a plan.
this is why Ryan built a proven trading plan, and it's already transforming lives. These reviews from real members say it all, directly from Trustpilot, where our members give 5-star reviews about the Substack, course, and community. Don't trade without a plan. Subscribe to Substack now. Conquer the markets.
Yo, what's up? Happy Thursday, everybody. I hope everybody had a great day today. It's a pretty smooth day, actually. I know I personally only took one trade. It was the very first setup in the trade plan, of course. So just tuning in and making sure everybody has done a fine job today. So we had Amazon earnings after the bell. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about crypto. We're going to talk about quite a few things today. But first and foremost, as usual, we're doing a 50K giveaway. So if you haven't signed up for the 50K prop firm giveaway, definitely check out the links in the Substack or the Twitter. You'll even see in the comments here in this particular thread. You should probably see it on YouTube or wherever the comments are posted. Actually, let me see if I can put them in. Does that work? No, it doesn't. I was going to try to put them in the Substack. You know what? I will post them in there here shortly, but they're definitely in the YouTube. I can see it on the channel. So, or go to the Twitter. And we're also giving away 30 days of the trade planner. I'm giving away 30 days of the trade plan. You can't afford not to sign up for it. It's free. We kill it. They work great every day. We're going to go over it as soon as we get done with this. And so make sure you go sign up. Do yourself a favor. Do me a favor. I love sharing my work. It's kind of like my superpower. It's just something that I really love sharing and helping people. And the ES is my jam. It's my boo. So I love helping everybody out. So with that being said, sign up, do us both a favor. I would absolutely love that. And the winner today for the prop firm giveaway is Samir Desai at Yahoo. Samir, congratulations, Samir Desai. I will end up sending you an email later this evening. Please just reply back to the email so that I know that it's valid. I obviously saw that you've been opening some of the emails that I've sent, so I'm sure it's good. But please just reply back. And so we'll be good there. So congratulations. And yeah, that's what's up. I was also thinking about doing something different for tomorrow. So back in the day, I used to do something called a Free Alpha Friday, which was where I used to stream until lunch, basically from the open to lunch, and just kind of chit chat and kind of walk through, show my screen, and just BS a little bit. I'm thinking about doing that again for tomorrow because we won't have the post-market breakdown tomorrow. I'm not going to do it on Fridays because I have things to take care of after the market closes. So I was thinking about streaming till noon tomorrow. I generally stop trading at noon on Fridays anyway. So if you guys would want me to do that, please throw a comment and something in the comments. Let me know what you think. And I'd love to hear what you guys think about that. Wouldn't mind doing that. So anyways, just let me know what you think and we'll go from there. So now that we have got the winner out of the way and hopefully everybody is signing up for the 30-day plans or the contest now that hasn't, let's get into the market today. It was actually, for me, every day is a bullish day, and that's kind of how this market rolls. So I'll show you how we started the day. We obviously started with caution. We have met our weekly target up at, 69.50. We've been talking about that for weeks. We met that target. I said, hey, we're probably starting to get a little topped out. I wasn't sure if it wasn't just for the day or if it was, a temporary top. It's really hard to tell. Okay. But yesterday it was perfect. We had the top almost to the tick. It was 52. I think it was. We had an options vol level up there and what have you. One of the big things that I pointed out in the trade plan this morning, and I'm going to point it out again for you guys now who don't have the trade plans. This is kind of a big deal for you guys. You get to hear this. There was a new all-time high made in Globex last night. This is something that the cash session players will not leave there. That will not stay an all-time high in Globex. They will come back and they will fix that at some point. Now, when do they fix it? It's hard to say. We don't know if they're going to fix it tomorrow or next week or whatever, but that will continue to be a target. Okay. So until they actually repair that new high, that's going to be a target. We also have a pretty large imbalance on yesterday's profile, which is screaming at me up there. So definitely a market inefficiency. And I'll show you guys that as well. And then, of course, I pointed out to the trade plan people that we also have a weekly bullish and balance at the highs. So let's get right into it. I just want to, show you guys what's cracking here. So here we go. Here is the current market context for the morning. Okay. So we are still bullish, but we have hit our weekly extension target of 69.50. We talk about this poor high and stuff that I just told you, and we've been sitting in this massive balance area. We have to default to trend, but we have to be aware that this market feels favorable. It was just a gut feeling, and knowing that we were kind of at the top of the extension. Obviously, we've got some gaps below. I was looking for this market to come down a little bit, and it worked. I will say this though, because it was out of the plan, I did not take a short. This is just something that makes me aware, and it makes you guys aware that, just so you know, even though I feel like it's coming down, I didn't have a proper setup, so I didn't take it. And, right now we haven't really lost on any type of support or time frame. So, I didn't feel real comfortable getting short, even though I felt like we were going to come down. And that's something that you guys need to be aware of. It's okay. It's okay not to take the trade. As long as we make money, the idea is to extract money from this market every single day. Doesn't matter how you do it, long, short, whatever. If you feel like you're missing the move, just relax, go meditate or something. There's always going to be another trade. So that is something I wanted to share with you guys for sure. So let's go into this now. So that was the market context. I want to show you as well. Let's talk about trades here. So this is the one trade I took. I actually posted it in Substack after I took it, and Twitter. This was the very first one, last untested reclaim setup of 69.50. Okay. So we had a 4 hour at 72, and we had this previous yesterday's low was at 82.75. So we pulled back into here. We played the 69.50 and the 72.25. And the very first thing the actionable setup says is the first trigger is the reclaim of 76. That was this white line. As soon as that happened, I was like, okay, we're cooking. All right, we almost got this. The ultimate trigger is getting back above yesterday's low at 82.75. If this could happen, this could give us nice continuation. Well, you can see right here that once this happened, I started adding into this trade. My average was 68, 87, 37, let's call it 25. And so I was basically in right at the overnight low. I ended up taking only 2 contracts out of 4. I really wanted to push it a little bit higher. I was up about $4,600 on this trade and ended up finishing the day on this one up $23.75. I actually tried to let this trade play out, and I held it all the way back to break even. And I gave back 23 points on 2 cars for a total of 46 points today. It was a little frustrating. I was like, man, I gave back $2,300 on this trade. And, they barely missed this second target up here. I really thought it might've had a little bit more gas in the tank, but that's okay. We never know, right? I still banked almost $2,400, and life is good. So, again, the trade plan's free, you guys, for 30 days if you've never signed up. And if you haven't, if you've already, it's $50 a month. If not, so far I've given you guys every day this week a super big banger. And we're going to go over my personal performance as well. Just to show you guys, it's, I don't put on crazy size, anywhere between 2 and 4 cars, and, we do quite well. And so I'll show you what's up, but this was an actionable setup. This is exactly how it plays. A guy in the room actually even said to me, he's like, man, I really need to understand what you mean, like what the acceptance means, right? So, the acceptance for me is basically, once we make the sweep and we have a confirmation that we're pushing over a level, that is my confirmation. I used to use the 2-minute candle. Actually, I still use a 2-minute candle close. If we can get a 2-minute or even a 5-minute candle close over the level that I'm looking for after the sweep, that's a pretty good confirmation. My stops, as you can see down here, I pointed at it with my hand. That's so funny. Hang on one second. Let me try to move me around here. Actually did come back and make new lows. So I was right for protecting myself. I was a little frustrated that we didn't get one of those off, but it is what it is, right? We made money. Everybody's good. I saw certain people liked this on the Substack notes. quite a few people made money off of this trade. And I let everybody in the room, in the Discord room, know that this was coming into play. So I have gotten questions before that I forgot to answer. And so I just want to throw this out there real fast. Yes, I do have a Discord room. Okay. Just put that out there. It was exclusive to course holders for years. I've had free rooms before, free Discord rooms, and they're not good. Okay. So you get guys in there with no skin in the game. They're freeloaders. They take up a lot of your time. There's a lot of bullshit posting. And then, you spend a lot of time with people you never see them again. So it's amazing, when you throw just a nominal fee on there, how many, it really weeds a lot of people out. So I really had it open to course holders for quite some time, people that really want to invest in themselves. And we had a really tight-knit community, and it still is a really awesome tight-knit community. These guys are like my family in there. But I did have a lot of requests to open it up from Substack subscribers. So we do have something that was called the Inner Circle right now. The Inner Circle is essentially where you can get the Substack and the Discord room. You can get it through Discord right now, but it's only in an annual membership. For some people, that's a little unrealistic. And so because, it's a larger payment, it's $1,000. So what I've been doing right now, just to let people know, if you are a monthly paying Substack subscriber, if you're paying every month, you're paying $50 a month for the Substack. If you want to come into the Discord room, you can come in. I'll let you come in, but we charge $50 for it. Okay. So it's $100 a month. I mean, it's nothing. It's essentially 2 points a month, which, Jesus Christ, if you can't make that. Anyways, but it's a very nominal fee, and everybody in there is trading every day. We have a pretty serious collection of traders. We're all making money, and I'm going to show you, the scoreboard here shortly, just to kind of prove to you guys what's going on. So, because I wanted to talk about my performance a little bit. It's not crazy this month or this week, excuse me, but it's good. It's whatever. Fine. We're making money. So, let's go back to it. Okay. So that was my trade of the day. Only one I took. All right. Now, before I forget, please don't forget to like and subscribe to Twitter and YouTube, guys. Ryan Bailey Edge, that's my jam. This is what it is across all of my socials. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Like this tweet, please. Like this stream. Retweet it, the whole nine. All right, you'll help me out big time. All right, cool. So the other one, let's talk about this. So this is the end of the day long. Now, there's something I want to talk about with gaps here, guys. So I'm going to pull the chart down also and show you this. So we had the gap fill squeeze setup. And this was, I wasn't around for this, unfortunately. I was outside playing with my dog. I tried to get a little time in, little break here. Otherwise, I'll sit here all day. It's terrible. So, it's all about this balance. So I was even talking about if we come down here and play 68.60, we really want to see if they don't fill the gap, if they do sweep the gap and pull into the 68.60 spot and get a strong reclaim of the low, 73, and then ultimately 82, we could trigger another squeeze higher. Well, if you think about it, this was at the end of the day. This was post the bell. This was Amazon earnings. And they actually did do exactly that. So I'm going to pull this chart down for you guys to see. And this is something that I want you guys to be very cognizant of. A lot of people don't realize this, but this is something I learned from experience. There's something called half gap. Okay. Now, a lot of guys are like, oh man, I'm short. I'm trying to fill the gap. Listen, guys, that doesn't always happen. I swear to God, I don't know why they do it, but half gap is a level. I can't explain it. A lot of times they will come down and they will fill half the gap and they will go. And so always keep that in mind that, whenever you're looking for a gap fill, I'm not saying it won't happen because we see it happen all the time, but half gaps tend to get reactions. Now, we even talked about that there was some options levels in here, but you can clearly see this level here. We swept, we came down, they actually came a little lower into 50. I said around 60, whatever, but they reclaimed our 63, 65 area here. What do we have? Strong reclaim of the low, 73, 73. I don't know who that is. All right. And then let's see where 73 was at. I'll take that right there. 73. Strong reclaim of 73. If I had to guess, 73 was probably that 1 hour. Let's look. Let's just take a look. Okay, 69. Oh, I was using this pivot right here. I don't know. What was I using? I don't know what I was using. But we had a put wall at 75, 69 here. I guess 73 was just me being safe. It was 2-3 points above this prior swing low here, and go. And that's exactly what happened. We got 21 points out of this. Now, again, I'm not going to bullshit. I didn't take the trade. I wasn't here. But again, the trade plan worked. If you were sitting in front of the computer, this would have been a fantastic trade, and we squeezed. Okay, so awesome. And I'm really happy with the plans. As you guys know, they've been playing out absolutely perfect lately. I mean, it's like every day, almost every single one of these is tits. So the other thing I wanted to talk about here is VIX. I know a lot of people, talk about VIX and whatever, and they say, oh, VIX, you can't do technical analysis with VIX. Bullshit. I believe we all have seen that is absolutely not true. We can do technical analysis with it. And so let's talk about the VIX, right? So our big pivots, once again, nothing has changed. The weekly at 16.17 is the floor, and 17.35 monthly is the ceiling. And there's an untested daily at 16.92, right? Okay, let's talk about that. Let's pull this bad boy over. Look at that. Okay, here we go. 16.17 is the floor. Here is our daily at 16.92. So we punched over here, right? We played this daily, kind of went through it a little bit, came down back to our floor, and 17.35 is the ceiling. And it worked out just the way it was supposed to. And if you guys were to take this chart and line this up with how the day went, this is exactly what happened here. So this right here was our push to the lows into the half gap. And when we smacked off of this was the pop on the reclaim. Okay. And this really just played out magnificent today. And so, I watch VIX all the time. The data is only $4, guys. It's $4 a month. It's so worth watching or worth paying for. Right now, as far as data that I pay for, I mean, I keep it pretty slim. I'm only paying for my CME data, and I pay for VIX data, which also includes SPX. And it's $4 a month. So I think my data is like $40 a month. And it's a no-brainer. So for an extra $4, this is worth having up, considering we talk about it all the time. Okay. So that's what's up. And just to kind of show you, before I get off on another tangent here, look at my boy. Oh, he's the salad shooter. I wanted to talk to you about just, I promised you guys that I would do personal performance stuff here, just to kind of show you guys, which we take the plan, which I trade the plans. Let's see. Let's look for this week. Here we go. This week, I didn't take a trade on Monday because they just ground up all day. So $500, one trade done. That was Tuesday. Wednesday, $600. That was yesterday. That was this long here up in the VWAP. They didn't get any follow through on that. So unfortunately, I didn't get the continuation. And then here was today's session. 23.75, and like I said, I gave back $2,300, so it could have been a $4,600 day, but it was $2,300. And you can see my guys in here; they just put up money. We had somebody pass a gauntlet, and this is guy's cash account. Zook trade stock. He's a beast, and this is how we get down. If people, we all follow the plan. That's why I said this is a good community of people. We're actually trading, and we're trading legit in here. This is not a bunch of guesswork, and so love that about these guys. So now that wraps it up for the ES. Let's just get right into a few things real fast. Let's talk about the big earnings after the bell. This is what caused our little shimmy at the end of the day. This is Amazon. Amazon got the juice, sending us up to new all-time highs. Amazon was looking pretty rough there for a second. They came down, they swept this. They almost got into our weekly here, which I was actually looking for. And then they juiced it on the new high, which was awesome on this little sweep. I like that. I went ahead and just kind of got some information here. Look, they absolutely killed it, up 24% surprise in their earnings. But it looked to me, and I think this is important for everyone, and I'm just going to pull this up. I saw it. Let me see if I can find this real quickly here. I don't know where it went. Basically, what happened is, let me see. I don't know where it's at, but basically what happened is they had huge growth in their AWS platform. Now, what's interesting is AWS only accounts for 17% of their revenue, but it's growing like insanely substantial because people are investing in AI and they need the data center, they need all that stuff. And so they're basically saying that they do not see the investments in AI slowing down at all. Okay, so the AI bubble continues as companies continue to throw hundreds of millions and billions of AI to get her done. And this is just one good indication here. We had Oracle. Remember, Oracle went crazy. And then we've got Amazon. So, as these data centers are continuing to be needed, because this AI takes up massive data, as you guys know, and lots of water too, which is interesting. And power, this nuclear shit's going crazy. So another cool sector to kind of keep an eye on. This was a big deal. We've had some mixed earnings actually. So, Meta was in the news. Meta took a dump. It was kind of crazy on that was the fact that there was like a one-time ordeal with them, like an accounting thing, and the market punished them for it. The market's been doing some serious punishing. We had FI the other day. I was talking about this. I started buying this yesterday. I was up pretty good on it, and then they dumped on me today. I fucking took a beating on this, and so I got out of it. But one of my boy Piper, he's probably watching this. He has a saying, and it always rings in my ear. He says, "You never buy the first low." And lo and behold, I bought the first low on this leg tip dip, made up some money, and I held it. And then, long story short, now we made another low. Now it's probably a good spot. Chipotle's got worked over too. I actually started buying Chipotle last night, and they played this weekly really nice. Check this out. Chipotle is actually kind of hurting right now. What's interesting is they said that the younger consumer doesn't have any money, which is a big surprise, right? But they are still continuing to open stores. They're going to be opening, I think they said, I don't know how many stores it was, over 100 new stores this year and whatever. So they're going to make some changes, but I think the market overreacted with this one. But even with that being said, that's kind of what's cooking for that stuff. So let me see if we got any questions here. Okay, yeah, I answered the Discord question. All right, so the last thing I want to talk about, because I promised you guys I would, it's been a big topic here, is Bitcoin. We talked about Bitcoin the other day. We talked about Ethereum, and it's looking a little scary. We were talking about it in the room quite a bit after I had this talk on the stream, but this thing is looking a little heavy. I mean, I really liked this area here. I liked these closes, but this monthly, as you can see at 15,770, has been a real challenge for us as they continue to bump their head on this. I was wanting to see this area right here hold today. And unfortunately it did not, or at least it hasn't yet. IBIT is looking pretty rough as well, which is really underneath the key spot that I wanted to see hold. So, I was eyeing some much, much lower spots on this. And I believe I'd have to chart this out real quick. Actually, I'll just do it with you guys here. I was spotting some lower spots that I actually liked. Let's see. Let's see, we got a weekly there. I think that was it. Boom. Boom. All right, let's see what we got. All right, so we got this sweep the low. We talked about this 100,000 right here, 101,000. I actually like this. I think this could sweep this low and reclaim this and actually go. So I'm not overly concerned. I think this is a good spot. If not, we've got this 94,500, which is an absolute possibility if they lose this. I'm just not convinced they're going to lose this yet. You never know. Anything can happen. But, other than that, we have this massive leg end down here, around 82,000, 86,000. This is really the jam. When you look at it on a monthly perspective, I mean, this is go mortgage your house material right here. So if they come down here, I would be super excited. I would be willing to obviously buy into this like crazy, especially this weekly here at 86. This right here is what I call gained and never tested. This is a phenomenal area to buy. But again, I would look for this 101 to play and regain this 102, 500 area. The thing that I want you guys to also be aware, and I talk about this all the time in the room, and you'll see it in the trade plans, is Bitcoin is a huge precursor for the S&P. So these are all risk assets. It just so happens that Bitcoin leads because it is the riskiest of the assets, right? Crypto, even though it's mainstream now, it's still super high risk, right? It's very volatile. I mean, the S&P moves 1 or 2%. Bitcoin and Ethereum move, 10%. I think ETH is down. Look at this. ETH is down 3.5. Could you imagine the S&P being down 3.5? People would be jumping off the fucking building. So, this is a much more volatile asset. And so, this is one of the first ones to kind of get hit. And we just have to keep that in mind. So, one of the things that I always try to tell people, and you'll see it in the trade plans, I'll even say, hey, I'm watching Bitcoin. It's looking pretty weak. Another thing that I actually look at crypto big time for is on Sunday, the Sunday open. If Bitcoin's strong, more than likely we're going to have a strong opening on Sunday and a solid Monday. But if Bitcoin looks weak, there's a good chance that they end up gapping down. So, all important stuff for you guys to kind of keep in mind. These are little tricks of the trade that I've learned. And so we've, I've talked about, give you a couple cues here and now. So we talked about Globex highs, right? If the all-time high is made in Globex, they're going to come back and repair it in the cash session. We don't know when, but it's definitely going to happen. Okay. And we also talk about using Bitcoin as a precursor. If crypto is looking soft, more than likely the S&P is going to follow. And it's just one of those things where I've been watching it so long that these are, little cues that I've picked up on, to kind of make it happen, to, put together my thesis. So again, please like and subscribe. Obviously, go ahead and subscribe to the trade plans. It's free if you haven't subscribed before. And of course, put yourself in for the giveaway for tomorrow. I will announce that on Monday when we come back in. So I'll announce Friday's winner on Monday. And that'd be awesome. And again, shoot me a comment, shoot something in the DMs, whatever. Just put something. Let me know if you guys want a free Alpha Friday. If you guys are interested in me streaming my levels and just kind of bullshitting around with you guys on a Friday, I would probably be game for that. So if we got enough people who want to do it, I'm in. So anyways, it was a pleasure. I will see you tomorrow, early morning for the trade plan, and we will conquer these markets together. So I'll see you guys, and let's have a good one, and cheers.